I'm at the point where I feel film criticism, analysis, TV criticism and analysis is, if not dead on YouTube, dying at a rapid rate due to the videos that I've been seeing on my For You page and just the regurgitated statements that I hear so many people, not only in my comments section, say, but just throughout YouTube in general. And as someone who is very, very passionate about criticism and analyzing different forms of media, things that I love, things that I don't like, things that I really don't like, whatever it will be, I find it very disappointing the way in which not only the YouTube algorithm works, but the way in which the bigger creators on this algorithm will perpetuate the same statements and just like farm views off of people being disingenuous and being hateful and so on and so forth. So real quick, the first channel I want to go through is my own channel, because I have a few different channels I want to go through and explain why I feel this way. So if we look at some of my most viewed videos, right, you can see, aside from a few just good ones that I made, most of them are negative-based criticisms. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Last of Us videos that did really well, criticizing the last 5 videos criticizing The Last of Us did well, about 3 that did really well criticizing Arcane, and so on and so forth. As you can see, a lot of my more popular videos are criticism. And I want to get this out of the way now. I'm not saying that I think criticizing a show or a medium is bad. I actually think it's very, very good. If you look at things from a logical and critical and just argumentative angle, you can gain a lot as a viewer for the remainder of your life by looking at the pros and cons, the mistakes and good things that a media has accomplished. And I always encourage people being very honest and very open with the way they feel about media. And I try to look at things personally through an objective lens. I try and find things that connect logically and work not only in my head, but just in general, just follow some sort of logical standpoint and reasoning. But one thing that I have noticed on all of these videos is I will get people that will agree with parts of my video, but then hate on me for not being more hateful. And I know that sounds kind of insane, but in every single one of these videos, I try my best to be open-minded and be realistic not only about the cons and things I didn't like about what I was watching, but stuff I really loved. Because even in the worst of seasons, like The Last of Us Season 2, there were still some things that I liked, some things that weren't awful, and some things that I think were worthy of praise. And whenever I do this, I will get people in my comment section hating on me for liking a part of a TV show that they hated. And I think the main reason this is happening is, one, I just think a lot of people are very jaded and very angry, but the way film criticism has evolved here on YouTube, it is just this cesspool where people just want to spew hatred 24/7, and then you go to a bunch of bigger creators in fandoms, and they're all making the same exact video, just with a different font. And the first person that I want to bring up is probably one of the biggest film reviewers right now, that being The Critical Drinker. Now, I want to tell you right now, there was a point where I was subbed to this channel because I thought it was interesting, right when I started getting into media analysis, because it was something different, something I hadn't seen before. But I just want to scroll through some of his videos and explain to you guys what I'm talking about. All of his videos that are very, very negative do unbelievably well, and you will notice a common trend. So right here, Crash and Burn, the Rachel Zegler story. Female action movies are dead. Girl boss fatigue killed them. The Fantastic Four, Return of the MCU. The Last of Us, an entirely predictable disaster. And as you just keep going, you will come to the conclusion that based off of each video you watch, and the quality of the video, this is just the same video. He just keeps making the same video over and over and over again. Just hundreds of videos that are just nearly the same script that you could just copy and paste, but replace a few words here and there, and you effectively have the same video over and over again. And what makes this all the more worse is when you go to people that he hangs out with, you see that their videos are the exact same thing. So let's go to Nerdrotic here, who's another massive film reviewer and critic. Same thing. Hollywood girl bosses too close to the sun. Woke Hollywood is breaking up, and it's just based the same, even the same thumbnails. They all make the same thumbnails and then putting like a silly image of, whether just a silly image of a character, and then they will just go ahead and make the copy and paste, basically same video that they've made previously that anyone else has made, For the most part, the time stays the exact same for the videos they make, all between the 8 to 16 minute mark of just babbling on about the same thing. You replace the words, it's effectively the same video. And what bothers me so much is because I've actually watched a fair amount of these live streams that these creators, do and are on, and they get this number one thing wrong, and it bothers me so much. If you ever go to one of these live streams, just watch a video, they'll always go, the woke agenda, the liberal agenda, that is what is killing films, that is what is killing Hollywood. And what is very frustrating is I feel they are misunderstanding the issues with the woke agenda and why they are unhappy, okay? So I would say that I do not like the way the woke agenda has been handled in Hollywood because it is a false agenda. What do I mean by this? Hollywood executives, big corporations, looked at what was hot, what the climate of the world was over the last 10 years, and noticed an upward trend of, like the LGBTQ community, people wanting diversity in films and everything of that nature. So what they did is said, hey, this is popular, so let's start putting more of this into our products. That way people of that audience will like it, say that it's pro whatever they feel, and they'll give us money. It was never about actually agreeing with these ideals or agreeing with the way people thought or wanting to make people happy. It was all about making profit. They treat everybody like they're a dollar sign. And in doing so, and not ever actually caring about this agenda that they were quote unquote pushing, they gave us these really bad examples of this agenda to where it's just a weak product overall. So I think a really good example of this is actually House of the Dragon Season 2. House of the Dragon Season 2 did not do well. If you look just through YouTube, everyone's talking about how it was kind of bad. And the main reason that I believe House of the Dragon Season 2 failed as a product, specifically with the female characters, is for some people they go, oh, it was the woke agenda to make Rhaenyra gay and make all these female characters leads. But for fans of the actual source material and fans of Song of Ice and Fire, we're trying to say that it was actually whitewashed in a way because they removed a lot of what made these female characters complex in order to make them more likable. But in making them more likable, you removed a lot of nuance from the characters and from their development. So we're stuck in this really weird moment in time where literally no one is happy because the people who want to see these things in their media, who believe in this agenda and want these ideals to be pushed and be out there, are starting to notice that all of this stuff kind of sucks and they're not getting actual accurate and quality representation. And then these people who are very jaded to this thought process to begin with are in this state where they hate it more and then will equate this hatred and just their bigotry will pile onto it. So you will take people like, I hate calling people racist, homophobic, all of these things without knowing them personally, but I can't look at something like this and to just see so many thumbnails of him, with women in the thumbnails, oftentimes women making silly faces, of stuff of that nature, and have it be like, come on, man, like, you know what you're doing. You know you're baiting people with this thumbnail. You know you're going out of your way to make these people look really stupid just for the thought of clicks. And this is a perfect example. Snow White, it's even worse than I expected. It's 9 minutes and 44 seconds. Check out the thumbnail. Now, let's go to Nerdrotic. And let's see. I think it's actually his most popular video. No, it's not. It's not. It was here. Just keep that thumbnail in mind. Snow White is awful. The foulest of them all. It is guys, it is the same thumbnail. They're using the same photo in the same thumbnail, basically, just with a different font and farming content off of this. And if you go to, I think it's Open Bar? Yeah, Critical Drinker After Hours. And you go and watch any of these past live streams. Now, I will say this. I actually do think some of these live streams are interesting because of the people that they get on there. Sometimes they will have just like a writer or someone of actual pristine on the podcast, which is interesting. But if you go to the people they have on there, they never have anyone that fundamentally disagrees with their opinions or gives like accurate pushback all the time. Maybe, I haven't seen every podcast. I could be wrong here, I'm going to be honest. But from probably the 10 to 20 podcasts that I've tuned into for like 20 to 30 minutes at a time, I've noticed the same people who all believe in the same thing, who all have the same feelings and opinions, just jumping on each other and dogpiling onto the same topics over and over and over again. and it is just so incredibly boring and incredibly unfun. And I'll get to this guy here in a second. For those of you who don't know, this is Mauler. Now, Mauler, at many points, is actually my favorite critic on this app. Now, I do not agree with everything he says. I think sometimes he does get things wrong and go a little too far in some aspects, but I'll give him this. What I enjoy about his content is how thorough it is. Like, this is just 6-hour video, 6-hour video, 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes. And I have to respect the fact that he actually goes for that, and that is motivating to me. But what is really confusing to me is how you could have someone like Mauler jump into these podcasts with people that like never say anything of the same quality that he does. And it just drives me crazy. And that's what I mean when I'm saying that film criticism on this app and just in general is going down the drain, because these massive channels have lost all nuance, all like they don't have any different perspectives, or they never change anything up. They never actually grow as creatives, and that really bothers me. And I want to be very, very specific about this next part, because this really does pertain to my channel and who I am as a person. I do not get everything right. I have 255 videos on this channel. I post every single day. I put a lot of work into my videos, and I'm really passionate about this, not even hobby, but just like love of mine. And I get things wrong all the time. I have videos that will do well, or that at the time I will think are so solid, and looking back, I'll just be like, yep, bunch of mistakes here, bunch of mistakes here. I didn't have this thought out properly. My script was wrong here. But the most important thing is I end every single one of my videos by asking people to give me honest criticism and honest critiques of my own content. That way, whenever I'm all said and done, I can be a better reviewer and a better person, a more creative person overall for it. So all of these comments that I get, which I really appreciate, I actually do take into account and go, okay, I'm getting different thoughts from people that disagree with me, people that agree with me. What can I do to become a better content creator and a better person through this complex world I've created where I allow people to actually criticize me and my, like, I have people who sub to me. I'm gonna, before I go to Critical Drinker, I'm gonna point this out. I have someone, he's gonna get a shout out because he's actually really cool. Where is he? I have a commenter who comments on every single one of my videos for the most part, and is just, he openly disagrees with me. Just tells me all the time that I'm getting things wrong. Here, I know he's right here. This guy, Second Eye 1574. He comments on nearly all of my videos and points out to me the things that he disagrees with, and I actually take those in and try and become better for it. Now, I want to go to Critical Drinker's comment section to compare this. Let's go to this nearest one. It's a 9-minute, like that's disgusting. 9-minute 37-second video released 5 hours ago or 6 hours ago, and it is just thousands of comments just mindlessly agreeing with him. Some of these people are not even watching the videos. Like, I'm being so honest with you. Some of these people aren't even watching this video, don't understand what he's saying, haven't taken the time to see the movies that he's talking about, and they're just agreeing to agree because they have this mob mentality where they can do no wrong, and whatever their overlord says goes, and they will just openly agree with him and boost the algorithm for him, which I don't understand. I'm going to point out a very specific video. Where is it? It was during Thunderbolts. So after Thunderbolts had come out, I sat down for a little bit and I was like, you know what, let me watch his video and see what he thinks about Thunderbolts. And I immediately knew I wasn't going to like it, but I was like, let me see anyway. Oh no, it was Thunderbolts, but I can use this one as an example. So I clicked on this Thunderbolts video, and I was there within a minute. I was one of the first, like, the moment I got the notification, because it just randomly popped up my feed, I clicked on it a minute in, and there were already hundreds upon hundreds of comments of people shitting on the Thunderbolts, saying that he was so right, supporting his content, saying that he can do no wrong, that he always knows what he's talking about. It's like, you haven't even seen the video yet. How can you possibly be agreeing with the take and praising him as if he's done something fantastic when you don't even know what he's talking about yet? And this is why I say, and I keep saying, the state of film criticism is just dead, because it is such a cesspool and this horrible, horrific abomination of hatred and people who are very negative and very mad at themselves, just putting this pressure onto other things. And it's very disappointing, and it just makes me sad. It really does. Really, really does. But yeah, I guess let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's a very different kind of video for me, but I just have to express my frustration at the endless amount of repeated content that is just so bad. And by the way, I'm not saying this is them. I see people on this app sometimes that clearly use ChatGPT to generate your scripts. Don't do that. It's unbelievably cringe. It bloats the criticism. It makes it just null and void. Please don't do that. Don't support AI. Support art, not the tomfoolery that's going around. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.